Oh, yeah. Good morning. Almost got the weekend. Just a little more. David the A, I'm here to help you get there. Got to get up and get it. Yeah. Good Thursday morning. Broadcasting from the banks of the Southern Fried River here in North Georgia, Studio A, David the AM. Good morning. Hope you've had a good night of rest, or if you've worked all night, or if you're from a time zone where it might be dark, but it's because it's nighttime across the great seas, 2 points unknown, parts unknown. We welcome you in. Hope your day is going well so far. If it's not, there's still time to change it. There's still time to make it your day. Lord knows I have had my challenges in the last month or so too. But we'll just keep kicking it, keep going, getting it, making the devil a liar, and just keep going. Don't give up. Keep going. Make all those who doubt you, Make them feel bad because they doubted you. Amen? Keep it up. Yes. Those of you here in America and across the world, welcome you, Patriots. We have Patriots across the world. And they tell us all the time they wished that they had a leader like Donald J. Trump. Isn't it strange? All the people here who hate him, but across the world, there are many who contact us and say, you're so lucky. I wish our leader was like that, kicking butt and taking names. Yeah. Still excited about the missionary being found. I love it when the news have to use the words miraculous, miraculous. Yes, it was a miracle. It was the hand of God. In a car with terrorists, kidnappers, terrorists, with guns, who opened an intense firefight, and they just unloaded on them. The police have said it. The authorities have said it. The officials have said it. And yes, the legacy media has said it. It was a miracle the missionary was not injured in any way. That's the power of our God. You say, well, he was taken. Yes, God did allow that to happen. And look at the news story that has developed out of it. To God be the glory. Absolutely. We got some bad guys who'll never bother anybody again. We got a lot of people hearing this story. We got a lot of people that's being introduced to the gospel, possibly for the first time. Yes, I love it. Amen. Ongoing attacks on our president. Town halls being attacked. Marjorie Taylor Greene went into one of the southernmost areas of our district, actually a new part of our district, did a town hall, and there were many who attacked her. They changed the format a little bit, and full disclosure here, I have been to 2 or 3, I think 2 for sure. I don't think I made the third one, town hall, not in that part of the district. She is my representative. I have been to those town halls. They're very well ran. I've never seen anything like that happen at any town hall. There were some opposition who came to one, who tried to come in and cause some trouble, and they didn't get in. One of the things they said was, we're in her district, we should be allowed to come in. The news is not being full disclosure here on some of this. You have to contact her office and get yourself a ticket. Your name is on a list. You can't just show up to the town hall and come in. I talked with her representatives in Washington, D.C. Both times I have went. They have been kind and courteous and cordial and communicated appropriately to let me know that I had my ticket, that I was in, and did I know where it was at and how to get there and all those good things. Never seen anything like that. Obviously, there were some people that came out with some bad intentions to disrupt, to cause problems. Now, the news is saying that she didn't answer her constituents' concerns, but these were people who most likely came to cause problems. There were a couple of times in those town halls that I've been to where someone asked a question that was, she would state exactly how she felt and how she was going to move forward. Most of the time, it was just more about the agenda of the administration, things they were working on. Zelensky, there was a lot about that situation, budget, different things. I've never seen anything like that. 3 people arrested. And those were violent interactions. Those were people that were taking it to the police, and the police were having to, have multiples to get them out of the room. We're going to show some video, not this morning though, but we will show some video of that this week. My understanding is she did change the format just a little bit. We've always, when you go in, there's always a place to fill out a piece of paper or a card, 3x5 index card, and drop them in a fishbowl where staff would get them. I've done that. She goes through as many of them as she can. In fact, in both town halls I believe that I went to, all of them were covered. And yes, including mine. They didn't call any. If they made changes, they may have saw some in there that were very controversial or not appropriate to be read. She did read some of them that were sort of attacking to her, I guess, and her policies or the way she sees things, whatever. And she should make comments about them and call their first name. and made some comments. So that part of the district is new to her, and it is closer to those districts. It sits on a kind of an edge. It could be a part of a district where you would have still a bunch of good old boys, bunch of good conservative good old boys. It also would have in it portions that would be probably very liberal. Been in that area many, many times. But anyway, town halls are being disrupted across the United States. And there's been recommendations. Maybe they don't have any town halls right now. After all, this is a rocky time. There's things going on. And we know how those things go. Disrupt. Protest is one thing. To disrupt is a different thing. It would be, nobody wants to go to something like that and see that have to happen. You're going there to hear. You've wrote your question down. She handled it the way she handled it. I don't think it's your right to start standing up and disrupting the proceedings. You could boo or something, but, they just full on got themselves removed and got violent about it. Person probably had that in their mind to do that when they came in. So anyway, I applaud her for still doing it. Whether you like her or not, it's not the point. The point is she has not backed down. She's stood her ground on things, even sometimes when it didn't look good for her. She has kept, and some would not like the fact that the district is captured in a lot nationally, that it is, but many do, and I can tell you, and people in the comments, and we're saying, maybe now people will vote her out. Maybe they'll turn on her. I'm telling you, this district is by far Marjorie Taylor Greene country, and they're not turning against her. There are those opponents who will continue to run against her, and they will continue to trash her and try to make her look bad. And maybe she misspoke on some things, and maybe she said some things that they all do. People say, what has she done for our district? I have to tell you that I've never heard the district get this much attention ever from any leader. And there's been some pretty good power-packed leaders in the district. She has continued to keep us out there, and she is motivated, I'm sure, voters in the district to go vote. The numbers are bumped up, and she has trounced her opponents. Well, those that hate her don't have the numbers, and know the district is not going to turn against her and begin to vote against her in these matters. I don't see that. As someone who's we can't, I can't make predictions. I'm just saying, though, the district is solidly in her area, and she's carried it very heavily in every precinct and every part of that district, the 14th district. She has carried it overwhelmingly. It's not even close. She is a powerhouse in this district. They're trying to, trash her. And then the latest that she cashed in on some money and, but anyway, I'm just telling you, whether, you can look at those news items, you can make your own decisions for yourself. That's what voters should do. I'm not here to tell you how to vote. I'm telling you the action on the ground is, and the feeling on the ground is, it has not changed. This district is solidly in her favor. Now, some of the younger crowd, maybe not. But the conservative older crowd, that's mainly what's been there when I've went to the town halls. Conservative older crowd, they love her. And she's got them, and they're not changing. So that's the way politics is. You always try to poke holes at your opponent, and then you'll run somebody against her. But this is not a liberal district. But that edge of it, the way they've changed it, the map changed a little bit. They redraw those maps. That part of it borders in some areas where that could come into play. But the bulk and majority of her district is very conservative. And I, at this point, would not see any threat that anyone has to remove her. It'd have to be something just devastating. There's nothing there that I hear that's devastating to her. She's still greatly loved. They cheer her. They come out for her. They support her. She has presented herself in the conservative ways of being, pro 2A, pro America. Taking it to get, against us being in Ukraine and having support there. That's overwhelmingly, people want us out of there in this district. She she stood up against the Pelosi's and others, and even some in her own party. And they mocked her for that. Well, what effect are you? They took her off committees. I can tell you when they did that, they made her stronger. It's the Trump effect. It's like when they attacked him. The more they attacked President Donald J. Trump as a citizen, as a former president, the stronger they have made him. They're stupid. The more that they attack this man, the stronger he gets. The more people want to vote for him because they don't like these people. The more they attack her, the more they've mocked her, raked her through the coals, trashed her and her family. They continually mock her and call her horrible names. The stronger she gets. Yes, she suffered divorce. That's life. A lot of time, a lot of pressures. And yes, she said some controversial things. I can tell you the district is solidly in her camp. I don't think that's changed one bit. So bring it on. Y'all keep on, media. You know what? I give her credit. She went down there and faced them. Now, there were people in the crowd that were there for her. That's not everybody. But there were people there that hate her, and that's that fringe of that district. That's way close. I mean, that's right there. That's right there on the cusp of Atlanta. And it's going to bring that. It's just the way it is. But the more you just get on 75 and come north in that same district, in fact, just up the road, be solidly MTG. And this won't bother her. It will not bother. In fact, it will invigorate her. I will probably attend one as a citizen and as a podcaster. We'll cover it as the news. We've actually tried to get her on the show. We didn't make that the first cut. We'll try to get her back, or not back. We'll try to get her again. We'll keep trying. She has a lot of demands for her time. We're a lot bigger now than we were then when we tried. We have had people in the district come on, but she is the national representative. So we'll see. But yeah, the town halls are turning ugly, and they've advised some of theirs to not hold those right now. And, I don't think that'll stop her. I really don't. She's always went against the grain. She usually holds them. I don't know where this one was held. I didn't look. They may have sent me something. I mean, I get a lot of emails. I usually get them for every one that she goes to. And she goes to quite a few. Usually are held in historic settings like train depots. I know for a fact that two of them, the ones that I've went to, two of them have been in historic train depots. Very beautiful setting. They're longer, sort of not as wide, but longer. Well, you think of a train depot, the old style. And they set up chairs in there. It's really nicely done. And it's a good event. And I have met people, and people are very, as again, I say the room is, and there, to them, she's a superstar. And they feel like she represents them. She speaks for them, and she says the things that they want to tell them nationally. And what happened over the 4 years? I mean, the last town hall that I went to, which was in Tunnel Hill. If you were there, I was there. I was in the very back. I got there a little later, and there were seats in the back. And I just sit down. I didn't try to fight it. I don't like to get too. In fact, both times I think I sat in the very rear. I was trying to cover the story. And also you capture people in the back of the room. You capture kind of some people on the fringe that could be staff. You kind of watch. I like to watch the goings on. Different people that are coming in and out, kind of capture the flavor of the moment, not only from the front, but also to the back. And there are officials who show up, other elected officials, those who are running for office, riding that wave into office. That's the way the political game's played, right? Unless you're her opponent. Like I said, at the first town hall I went to for her, I believe it was an opponent who tried to come in, was didn't have a ticket. I don't remember now. Good, maybe I'm wrong. But she was coming to disrupt, is what I was told, and caused a disturbance at the front. But they kept her out. And there was this accusation this time. But I would say a lot of these people that try to get in were not on the list. There's only so many tickets. It's a limited. It's free. There's no cost. But you have to register ahead of time, like you would for anything like this. There's a little bit, I'm sure, of who's coming. Safety and security. It would at least be a cursory look. Is this person? I mean, they're calling you too. They're calling you and they're getting on the phone with you. So it's not like they're not a little bit knowledgeable about who's coming. And I would be on a list, like I said, because and I'm in her district too, and that I could feel free to go to any of them. But it's never been a problem. I've gotten on the list right away. I usually get, like I said, those notifications for every single one. I didn't get one. I could have. I just might have missed it. When I say I get a lot of emails, I have a lot of stuff that I'm signed into, a lot of things that I'll get updated on, including podcasts and news sources and things like that. So it's not uncommon for me to be clearing out several hundred emails out of my email 2 or 3 times a week. So I could have missed that. But I wouldn't have probably went to that one just because of the time factor to get there and work and podcast. But the next time I will try to do it, even if I have to kind of do both. Pick one that, but not that we're not really. Maybe it's kind of an option for us whether we broadcast. And I will do, and I've done little bits and pieces from those just before I go in, and not try to do anything inside, but just to capture the moment, capture the flavor of the moment, see what questions people are asking and how she answers them. That's what you go to these for anyway. You go to capture, and town halls are run a little different in different ways. Some could be ran where they actually have people that stand up. You bring a microphone. I remember the first time. In fact, this goes so far back. This was right after everybody was being canceled out by a lot of social medias. And she had been canceled by X, Twitter at the time. And she asked everybody in the audience who still has that and or had gotten rid of it. Now, at the time, I still had mine, but I wasn't using it as active as I was others. But there was a lot of people getting canceled as it were around that time. We know the work that they were doing, other social media, I won't name them all, that were working, were actively engaged in promoting the liberal candidates and stopping, conservatives from getting their voice out there, keeping their sites from getting the traffic, or just plain out blocking them or dropping them out, taking their accounts, including the president. But things had changed, and so I haven't looked to see if she has one now, but she may have never went back to that. But she may have. I didn't look, but she was canceled, and they kind of laughed about it that night. And in that room, nobody wanted it. I mean, very few, maybe. I had mine, but was not active. I didn't cancel, but by lack of activity was pretty canceled. I just didn't use it. But that's changed, and now we broadcast live there. So interesting. It's interesting to see how things change. So that was my long view, was just take it and see where it went. The same thing with TikTok or whatever. It's there were a lot of people who jumped and they canceled. We had thousands of followers. I was not going to do that. Let's see where it goes. And we're still waiting on that to play out. They're supposed to be buyers, and the president has extended, he said, to get everything just right, the contracts, the I's dotted, the T's crossed, as they say, and see where this goes as far as the sale. So they have to, sell it from Chinese ownership. So I tend to take a long view. Now, if you're canceled, you're canceled. You could always change your name. But if for a podcast name, that's hard, or a ministry or something that is active on there. I get why they just went to others. And that's why platforms like Rumble became so huge, which we're broadcasting to this morning because of their, not canceling out, or a Gab or someone like that. But it's interesting to go to those town halls and see how that's changed over the last several years. But back to my original intent of the remark, it was the fact that they're not going to hurt her with that news on. Just in fact, like I said, people in the district would look at it and go, They would be smart enough to look down there, realize the location when I heard it, and I said, well, that's on the fringe. You're going to get that. That district, that part of the district would cover from very conservative to pretty fairly very liberal, and it could just be a few streets apart. Honestly, it's an interesting community. It's a big, as Atlanta sprawl spreads, grows outward in every direction, especially northward. Those districts have flipped a little bit and changed. Originally, she ran in a district she wasn't going to win, and they always attacked her on that. Politicians have done that. You move to a district where you have a better chance to, and it works. I mean, you criticize all you want. Politicians on both sides have done that. If you're in a place where you're just not going to win, and she wasn't, and the person who won is still entrenched there, I believe, and it's not going to change. It's just the nature of it. I mean, it doesn't mean people don't run against them. They do. They should, because you should have representation in your elections from whatever side there is, especially the two main parties and others as well. I would like to see all of them have multiple candidates and give the voters a choice. But so it's not anything new that candidates have moved, established, or already had homes or property or whatever, but moved into a district. One, you got to make sure they're actually living there. Yes, there's been some that have been caught not doing that. For her, she lives there. She lives in the district. But she was not going to win that other district, and she changed and has won and has become nationally known, worldwide known, effective. I've told people at work that I work with who can't stand her. There's a handful. I can't stand her. I said, she's won. And they'll say, what are you talking about? She's won. I said, she's already won. She's got you talking about her. Yeah, but I hate her. I said, doesn't matter. You're keeping her name out there. You talk about her all the time. And there's other candidates like that. That's effective. Your haters help you. They absolutely do. The worst thing anybody can have, it's in TV, entertainment, political world, or whatever, is for your name to never be mentioned. Dead air, we might say. No sound, no traction. You get free advertisement that way. Think of all of the free advertisement that President Trump has gotten over the years, things he never had to pay for. Because even if the haters are out there putting you in the news and they're trashing you, hating on you, there's other voters out there going, check. Like what you're doing, girl. Like what you're doing, sir. Keep it up. I think I'll vote for you. That's effective. That's why I say the more that they attack her, Marjorie Taylor Greene I'm talking about, if you just came in, the more that she's going to strengthen. Her base is already there. Her base is not going anywhere, just like the president. Those other votes, the ones who maybe haven't voted in a long time, I know many people who showed up in the last election cycles for her. That's all they came. That's why they came to vote, or for her and the president when they. But with times that she's ran in the middle where there wasn't a presidential or whatever, they were turning out for her, and I'd hear people say that. When is the election? I got to make sure I vote. I want to vote for Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's the main reason I'm going. So that, again, trashing, but news, and that was a big news. I mean, I was on everything. I was picking it up from everywhere. That's effective for her, and you got to give her credit. And that's why I told these people, I said, the more you hate on her, the more you help her win. They can't stand it. The more they can't stand it. They said, well, she don't have my vote. I said, it doesn't matter. You continually talking about her is getting her votes. They're canceling out your vote. You're people. I said that I said, in this room at this moment we're talking, I vote for her. I said, so it's equal. But I know many others like her. It's a conservative district. When you ride through in election time and you look at the campaign signs that are out that people have put in their yard, it's not even close. It's not even close. They blanket the area. In fact, outside of Trump, I've never seen any more signage than Marjorie Taylor Greene outside of President Trump, ever. Except maybe the ones that said I didn't. What was the song? Let's Go Brandon. That one was up there too. Let's Go Brandon. That would be the third one that I would say. But she is definitely is doing a big business. She also does roadside where she stands there with many supporters and they wave the signs and flags. Very effective. She's done the gun giveaways. Big success of this district. Big. That might not play in New York City, but in the 14th district, those giveaways are immensely effective. And her video shooting them takes it up another notch. And I believe others have copied her who may have felt the same way but saw the effect that she's had with that. They copied her. Check. They saw what was going on. It's like, okay, you got to know your district. You got to know your people. And she's been effective doing that. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back, look at a couple things. Went on that story a little longer, but it was in the news cycle. And like I said, it's the haters are coming out. They're looking towards the midterms and going to, a lot of predictions being made. A lot of people saying, the media is just gearing up. They think they're going to be trashed in the midterms. I ain't seeing that, but there's going to be a lot of people running on that. We're giving you an alternative. Elect me and I will fight against the dictator, the emperor. That's what they're running on. We'll see. They've done it before. It's not really been effective. It's not worked. We'll be right back. I'm Dave in the AM, Southern Fried Patriot Morning Show. Be back in 2. Hey, Southern Fried Podcast fans. This is Dave in the AM for the Southern Fried Podcast. We want to advertise for W, who's got some special things going on. So are you tired of those energy drinks that you drink and they give you the jitters and the crashes that come from the typical drink? Look no further than W Energy Drink. It's a revolutionary new beverage that will keep you energized without any of those downsides. For a limited time, folks, W is offering an incredible 30% off on everything they sell. That's right. You can stock up on your favorite flavors and save big while enjoying the smooth, sustained energy that only W can provide. I'm a customer member, and I can testify to this. I love this drink. No shakes, no crashes. And if it can help my mental acuity, I'm happy too. Awesome. They have a unique formula that provides you a perfect balance of focus and vitality without any of those unpleasant side effects that we don't want. No more of those shaking hands, crashing you in the middle of the day. Just pure clean energy to help you tackle any challenge that comes your way. But don't wait too long. This 30% offer won't last forever. Go on over to W's website now and start shopping. Remember to smash that promo code Southern Fried into the area where they ask you to put that in there. And it'll help us as well. You're still going to get the 30%, but it'll let them know that you are supporting us. And so we appreciate it today. So try W Energy Drink and experience the difference for yourself. Your body and mind will thank you for making the switch to the energy drink that truly delivers on its promises. Don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to save big and upgrade your energy game with W. Don't forget, use that promo code Southern Fried. And we're back. Good to have you here. I saw that Kim's Coffee Talk is going live just now in her show. Shout out to her, fellow Georgian, great podcaster from the great state of Georgia. Birthdays today, Jennifer Garner, 52 years old today. 52 years old. Victoria Beckham, 50. These ages just get higher and higher. It needs to stop. It's wrong. My birthday's coming up in just days. Oh, I'm definitely in that ballpark. Look and see if there's anybody else. That Luke Mitchell, 39, actor. Who else here? Nobody stands out to me. They might to somebody, but there's some that I like, would want to cover, and some that I don't. There's just some today, though. Some that you'll see. Happy birthday to you today if it's your birthday, or if it's your anniversary. A shout out to you. I mean, everybody has to have a birthday on someday. J.P. Morgan's birthday's today. What we hear about him? That's a money people. The rapper DNA, 33. I don't listen to him, but DNA. A lot of coverage being given to the background of this violent gang member. People are afraid of him, the one that was deported. Of course, the liberals are just crying. That's Aerosmith saying, crying over him. They see a political opportunity here, maybe. Maryland man, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, exposed in police records, according to Fox News, as, quote, violent, repeat, wife beater. You go, Dems. You support. You go cry. You go visit. Hold rallies, protest marches. Oh, bend the knee. That's your kind of guy. Oh. Garcia, an illegal immigrant from El Salvador with alleged ties to MS-13, was dubbed a, quote, Maryland man by Democrats and left-wing media. Of course. I like that they put the now deported. The now deported. Just a reminder there that he is still deported. For all your crying, for all your whining, he's still deported. Don't forget, our program is brought to you by Patriot Mobile. Patriot Mobile, our landing page is out there now. I love that. I don't think I have it in the scroll for this show. But we'll do that. But it's Patriot Mobile / the www.patriotmobile / cornbread is our landing page. Use that promo code, get a month free to start. Make the switch today and support a great conservative company. Also, Mammoth Nation. It's a collection of great American-made products. America first, baby. Support the cause of these great companies. When you go through that or use our QR code, I almost said promo code, QR code, then you'll get discounts too, and you become a monthly supporter. I'm a lifetime member of Mammoth Nation. W Energy Drinks, use promo code Southern Fried. And we also have a QR code for Podbean, which we're broadcasting live on this morning. I don't know if anybody's in there on the audio side of things. We did become incorporated yesterday, officially, with the state of Georgia. We're soon to see some other things happening. Our website, I need to check on that today. It should be in any time. We're not in a hurry. We're going to make it right, but we'll know that we're a little bit past the time. Fox News obtained the written domestic violence allegations filed in court against the 29-year-old Garcia by his wife, Jennifer Vasquez, in 2021. In the filing written in Vasquez's own handwriting, she alleges Garcia repeatedly beat her, writing, quote, at this point, I'm afraid to be close to him. Robert kind of mentioned the story last night. I'm afraid to be close to him. I have multiple photos, videos of how violent he can be and all the bruises he has left me. Scratches on her eye, leaving her bleeding, threw a laptop on the floor, punched her. Just a rock solid, liberal, Democratic voter, right? That's the kind of guy they want, apparently. Let's get him to vote for us. That's the kind of guy we want. Illegal, violent, leftist, loony, hates women, attacks them. Their kind of guy. Think about it. As Kevin Sorbo, the great actor, said 2 days ago, they wake up every day looking, the liberals that is, to be offended. We are so offended that you deported this guy. In November 2020, he hit me with his work boot. In August 2020, he hit me in the eye, leaving a purple eye. On another day, he got angry again, started yelling, and ripped her shirt and shorts off before grabbing her arm and leaving marks. This is the kind of guy that's not going to get better. This guy ain't going to be better. This guy's violent. It's in him. He's not changing. I believe in redemption. I believe in people changing. You don't see people like us changing. You don't see wife beaters, women beaters, people like that. They're violent. You just don't see it. This guy's he's just an evil guy. Well, it's good for him where he's at. At one point, the officials found him loitering in a Home Depot parking lot with other known MS-13 gang members in possession of illicit drugs in 2019. Oh yeah, just out having boys not out. The police department's gang unit, MS-13 intelligence squad, conducted an interview with Abrego Garcia and contacted a past proven and reliable source who identified him as an active member of the gang with the Westerns clique with the rank of Chicao and the moniker of Chili. So here we go. The news comes as Democrats clamor for the return of Abrego Garcia, who they say was, quote, wrongly deported to a maximum security prison in his home country as part of the Trump administration's efforts to crack down on illegal migrant crime. Last week, the Supreme Court upheld a lower court's decision ordering the Trump administration to arrange the return. The court required the government to facilitate Abrego Garcia's release from custody in El Salvador and ensure that his case is handled as it would have been if he had not been improperly sent to El Salvador. The Trump administration agreed to clear any administrative obstacles keeping Abrego Garcia from returning to the U.S., but Attorney General Pam Bondi has said that returning him is up to El Salvador. If they want to return him, that's not up to us. I say if he returns, put him in Gitmo. I've said that. We have a place for you. Your due process can happen from there. Wouldn't that be great? The liberals having to go to Gitmo to visit their boy. That's my boy. Get the Gitmo Hotel. Take him some gifts, which they probably wouldn't give to him. Hold their little flag waving, knee bending for him while they're there. Hey, maybe they could go over and visit the the communists there. They could do a 2-for trip. The Gitmo Hotel tour, visiting all the people they love more than any American. They love these folks. That's their kind of people. Go rub elbows with them. Then go over. Yes. Have some coffee. Coffee with the communists over in Cuba. Yeah. I think they kind of like that. I think they would see that as a positive of a trip for them. Just check and make sure that it's paid for the appropriate ways. We're not using money the wrong way. They could also stop off in a couple other areas while they're in the region. They would probably like that. They'd see that as a vacation. What a time we live in. What a time we live in. I love the clip they've been playing of former First Lady Hillary Clinton and Senator, who was emphatic about illegals, and they're not the right to be here. Well, she was throwing it down that day. Well, they just, I just, again, it just shows the hypocrisy of where they're at. They'll say, it used to be a time when they would say whatever. They'd go with whatever to be elected. And they felt like that was the way the election, whether they really felt that or not. They were emphatic about it. I don't know that if they forget it, that they've said it, but they sure don't want anybody remembering it. And it's great when people go back and pull the receipts on that and play those videos. It's absolutely wonderful. And this happens again and again. I mean, you just go back and look at their history. I'm sure, when things change, they go into scrubbing their history, or trying to, their social media footprint. When big stories that possibly they could be linked up with. You can always tell when somebody's in trouble that's got a bad history. They're going back and trying to scrub that stuff out so people won't get it and pull it up. There she is. Old pantsuit Hillary up there just stole it. She looked like she sounded like she could have been at a Trump campaign event. Oh, we got to get them out of here. They don't belong here. They got to do the right path to citizenship. Oh, she's getting cheers. Everybody cheering. Yes, Hillary, yes. Now, bring them on in. Come on down. We've got a country for you to take over. Oh, well, I'm an MS-13 gang member. Oh, that's okay. We love you too. We got a spot for you. Wife beater, it's okay. Come on down. Yeah. Drugs, that's fine. Come on down. We'll get you a vote. We'll get you a card. We'll put some money on it. We'll get you a nice place to stay. Yeah. Come on down. You're our kind of people. It's sickening. It's absolutely sickening. Don't forget tonight, Cornbread Nation, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be going back. We don't, our destination is Redneck Island. Where's that at? I don't know. But we did the Redneck Cruise last week out of the Redneck Riviera. We went to Parts Unknown. Now we're at Redneck Island, where we're going to look at the Redneck Survivor Games. Ooh, Redneck Survivor Games. Don't forget, we'll also be talking about our Jacklegs of the Week. Oh, we got many candidates for that. Great Breadheads in History. Southern Rock Band of the Week. Got a good one this week again. Some great bands out there. Last week was Black Crowes. We'll look at that. We need some recipes sent in. We need some good Southern recipes. We covered some. We need some more. And we'll look at some Southern humor, the Southern Fried 5 at 5. Uncle Jeb may make an appearance. And yes, the Jeb and Bubba show is still to be released. It's just been a little topsy-turvy week. We're working through it. We want to make sure it's right. Got everything where it needs to be for it to happen. We're fixing to get that out there. Sorry for the delay. Uncle Jeb's been mad at me about it. Trying to get everything in place, Uncle Jeb. Calm down. George and Bubba, calm down. Your visit to the White House is intact. Those stories are still there, not going anywhere. And we'll get that news out very quickly. Very quickly. Hey, it's Thursday. Almost Friday. Friday's going to be a travel day for me and my wife. We travel south to the Mayhaw Festival in Colquitt, Georgia. We're going to leave. I have a community event that was a reschedule. My intention was to leave early that morning, but it's been rescheduled, and so we're gonna do the morning show, go to this event, may stop by work and get things started there, then go to the event. As soon as that is over, we're going to be southbound. Not on a train though, but we'll be southbound, headed towards Robert like a bullet. And hopefully everything will work well that we arrive well in time for Front Porch Talking, live in studio together. It's only the third time this has happened. And we'll also do some broadcasting from the event, our Southern Fried MAGA show, which is on Saturday. We will do our best to be broadcasting that in betwixt all the other activities that are going on. And then on Sunday morning, Easter, yes, coming live from South Georgia, then coming home is the intent. We got to make some arrangements today for all that to happen, but that's kind of what's going on this week. Do you have a Rumble channel? If not, get you one and follow the Southern Fried Podcast. We also have three channels. We have one that's Southern Fried Podcast. We have one that's SF Podcasting. That stands for Southern Fried Podcasting, SF Podcasting. We're streaming to both of those today. We also have a Cornbread Nation channel. It's sort of small. I haven't built it up yet, but we do post a lot of the Uncle Jeb and Georgia Bubba activities there. It gets a lot of that. So that's kind of what we use it for. Breadhead stuff. So get you a Rumble account today. Follow the Southern Fried. A lot of great other podcasters too. Killer Carl. Give Killer Carl a follow. Become part of the over 32,000 followers he has on Rumble. Gets you some great 55coffee at 55coffee.com. And I am drinking that today, matter of fact. Use that promo code Carl, CARL 15. And oh, Celtic says you guys got to rig up a porch setup one of those times for a front post talking show. We should. Well, it's funny you say that, Steve. He's actually having one put on. He just had steps. He didn't have a porch, but we don't know if it would be enough this time. But we'll do that. We'll definitely do that. I just don't know if it's going to be in place enough that we could do that. We could rig lighting up and, come in. It's still daylight. We could start it in the daylight, go to the dark. We would do that, if it's possible. We'll see. We'll have to see progress. We'll have to see what progress is made today, and probably that day too. He may not have the rails up, but a lot of the platform may be there. We might could do that. That's a good point. Yes, love from the front porch. How you doing this morning, brother? I hope you're well. Shout out to everybody else out there and those lands. But what I was saying, get your Rumble account, follow us, and follow good people like the Celtic Blacksmith. Yes. On Rumble, Kim's Coffee Talk, Empty Pockets Podcast. Oh, there's so many. Angry Conservative 1981. Big Tony. Oh, there's so many good podcasters. Once I give my porch build, I'll join you. Yeah. You don't have a porch? That used to be a standard thing for, I say it used to be. A lot of houses were built with just that little bitty 2 or 3 steps and the little small porch, what really like a stoop almost. But used to be houses were really built with a front porch. Now I like them that extend all the way around. Those houses that like the ranch house kind of look, they go all the way around the house or almost all the way around or whatever. I love that. It's like that old Western look, this wood front porch you walk along. But we used to get out there. I mean, that was a big deal for me as a kid. I had family, and we would go out to the front porch. This is where the idea came from anyway for that show. That was our history. He was familiar with it as well. Oh, yeah, you get on the front porch, all the conversation. You sit up there to cool off. They had a cover on them. There were nice places to sit, chairs all along. We'd sit out there, break beans up, shuck the corn, all that stuff. I mean, that was you sat. You wasn't usually until it was very late. You weren't really relaxing, but you would do work out on the front porch and get out of the hot house. Maybe you got your cooking or cleaning or whatever. You don't let kids go in there during the day anyway, except for the restroom. And even then, sometimes that was outdoor. But you sat out on the front porch, and sometimes I just sit right there on the edge of the porch or leaned against one of the posts. I was a kid, little bitty, 70-pound thin was real nothing. Kid, 70, 80 pounds. We was out playing sports in the front yard or somewhere out in the field, but you'd come up and sit on the front porch. Steve says, I have a patio and a few steps leading up to a small platform that's maybe 2 by 2. Oh, that's just enough to make you mad. Yeah, you need a porch. Everybody should have a porch. Absolutely. And, and our, my uncle's place, where I remember being at a lot, it was a dirt road that went by. There wasn't a lot of traffic, there was a place further down where people lived, and I had some fields leased or they owned them or whatever. So sometimes you would see people going by, but very rarely. But it was a great spot. It was kind of up on a little, not a hill, but the elevation, it was a little elevated versus the fields. And it was just a great scene to look out over those, the horses and stuff in one field and the looked off down in the pasture, and you'd have the cows and stuff, and the barn was down there, and it was just kind of on a knoll, or whatever you want to say, kind of the road curved around right there. It was just a great look. I love that. I love that scene. That was a great setting. A good breeze that came through, especially on those really hot summer days. That's why you sit out there to catch that breeze. They weren't running air conditioning in the house. They kept the lights out till they needed them. And, but the house would get hot because they were cooking meals and stuff. So they'd come out to cool off, sit down and take a break for a minute. Or, like I said, continue breaking up stuff for the meal, peeling potatoes, whatever. Steve goes on to say, apparently the original plan of the previous owners was to put in a porch, but they never did it. So I'm set up for it. Just got to have it done. Luckily, my neighbor builds porches for a living. Yeah, there you go. I've got to put a bigger one on my house too. It was just it wasn't a 2x2, but about a 10x6. Not big enough. I've got a grill out there, a little table. There's not much room there. You got one chair, a stool. I want to extend it and have a place to put the grill and some other chairs and stuff. So I'm kind of in the same boat. But mine's a little bit bigger, but it was a traditional 50s house, and that's just the way they did in my neighborhood. And some people have already done that and built up a bigger porch along the way. So, but yeah, I get that, man. I get that. And it just looks nice for your house to have that anyway. Adds value, and that's good too. Yeah, but that's great. But, on those nice evenings and stuff. And I want to build outside the studio here, we're going to build a little kind of a patio area outside, more towards, because it's fixing to be hot. But in the fall, kind of around the time of the year that we really first met you, Steve, I want to have that fire pit kind of thing going, and I would love to have a broadcast from that area as well. So it's the things that me and my son talked about when we started putting the studio together. We're still finishing up the inside. There's still things inside that's got to be finished, but we could get that done for the fall, I think. So, but I'm glad Rob's getting it done. Plus, it's going to have a ramp, which for him is important for medical reasons. It'll help my wife, who definitely needs the ramp. She doesn't need the steps. So that's nice too, that he'll have that and not have to climb steps. That's cool. It's nice to have those ramps too. If you're in with something, you're putting in a new stove or something, you got something to go up. You don't have to carry it up steps. That's nice. Yeah, I just like that though. And this, it'll last him a long, long time. I'm glad for him. So he's a double wide. It's nice, very nice double wide. I've been there, and we're actually going to stay there this time, just for the one night. Or is it 2 nights? Maybe it's 2 nights. 2 nights. We stayed in Bainbridge last time, but we need to be closer. We got to leave very early to get to the festival. We're going to go eat in Bainbridge that evening, Saturday evening of the festival. Once it's over, and we're packed up and kind of out of there. And that's not a night that we broadcast anyway. So, although we could, who knows? We might. But I've got to get some things arranged on this whole trip anyway. So, we shall see. We shall see. All right, got a couple minutes left here. We hope you have a great day. I'll be headed to work. Got to go to work. Work. Here we go. Steve, you a traditional lunch pail kind of guy? Got you a little lunch bag, or a lot of people carry the big bags now. Hey, Jake, you got the big bags, pack drinks in there, put your ice things in there. Some people carry the traditional sack or the little lunch box, the black ones. That was a traditional. No problem, Jake. You know what? Hope you're holding down the fort in the great state of Mississippi. Hope things are well there. Keep the chaos down. You got to be the chaos coordinator in Mississippi, Steve. You got to handle Ohio, and there's others up there to help you. Empty Pockets, James from Empty Pockets. He's Springfield. So y'all can handle things up there in Ohio. Me and Robert will hold down. Hopefully, we let it get out of control. I know MTG had to put up with some Looney Tunes down there in Ackworth. That's closer to me than it is to Robert. I guess that would fall to my jurisdiction. I should have been handling the chaos, and I didn't. Shame on me. We'll have to do better. We'll endeavor to persevere. Oh, we'll probably do a couple of shows tonight. Cornbread's definitely on the docket, but we'll do another one. But we're going to be putting together Jub and Bubba's show, so we're going to get that done. Get it out. Get her done. Get her done. Looking forward to a great day. The weather's been nice, extremely nice. Looking forward to a nice weather day. And hopefully a nice political day. The haters are out, and they'll continue to be out. Let's go look and see. We are scheduled for a high today of 76, mostly clear. So nice. A low of 44. I got to say, I like it. Now, Friday over the weekend, it's going to beef up just a little bit, but low 80s. Mine's a Hello Kitty lunchbox. Oh, there's always that time, like I've got the granddaughter. And, there's the time when you buy all that stuff. I want the Frozen. I want the, Hello Kitty. I want this or that. Then it's, what's her name? The singer. I know there's many, I'm talking about Taylor. And then it becomes, no, I don't want none of that stuff. Teenager. She carries her lunch a lot. My granddaughter's a picky eater. She's a lot like me. So she's picky, but you know what? God bless my little Southern girl. You know what she's taking for lunch today? A bologna sandwich. I love it. I love it. She says, you can have all that school food. I'm packing me a bologna sandwich. I love it. You go, girl. She tells me all the time, she said, I sound so country when I hear myself on your podcast. I said, well, you are country. She has more of an accent than I do. She's country. Oh, but she takes her lunchbox. So she don't do it all the time, but here lately she's been carrying it about every day. I was helping her last night. She had opened up her lunch sack baggie, put her sandwich in because she's got the busted wing. We can't get the second x-ray done till the 21st. So right after we get back, wanted to do that today, but it'll be Monday. I sent it to her. Jake, I will ask. Celtic says, I don't even remember having a special lunchbox. Actually, maybe stickers. But I think I got the plain boxes. Back in my day, Steve, all the boys, yes, the KISS lunchbox. There were a few other ones like for sport, like Pittsburgh Steelers. I remember those being out there. Some regional stuff. But I remember seeing Disney. I remember seeing people carrying, even into high school, the KISS lunchboxes. They just loved it. Oh, and I like this now. I'm a fan. I got leftovers from dinner last night, beef taco, mac and cheese. I'm all in, man. That's a good lunch. I like it. Absolutely, I would love to have one of those. One of my sons gave me a hard time. These are highly collectible, among many others. And I went out there, and there was a movie made by Disney. I can't remember the name of it now. Ernest Borgnine was in it. It was the first time a Disney movie had a cuss word in it. It wasn't a bad one, but I found it online. I got it for just a little bit. I put it up on the shelf, and my son said, "Oh, do you like your little lunch box?" I said, "I sure do. I wanted it as a kid, and I didn't get it, but I would like to have that KISS lunchbox. You can still find them, but they're pricey now. Woo, they're pricey. That's a thing that there's just a whole market for that. People who collect the old lunch boxes, and if you can find them that don't have the busted thermos, that's a lot of them. The thermoses are missing or busted. That's the hard part. That's the ones that are worth a whole lot. Obviously in decent shape, not all rusty or dinged up, and the clips all work on the front and the handle. But if you can find one that has the thermos in it not busted, that's worth something. A little bit of money. It's amazing collecting. If we'd only saved all the stuff we had as a kid, we thought it'd be like that forever. We never realized. It's like you just played hard, and when it got old or you broke it, you just threw it away. Oh, it's a little dinged up. Throw it away. I'll get another one. And now you look back and you're like, oh, it's like ball cards. How many people had ball cards, put them in their bike wheels and everything, just everything. We built stuff out of them, see how high we could build stuff. There ain't no telling what was in there. I don't know. They might not have been worth anything, but they could have been. We'll never know. Old comic books. We bought a lot of comic books when we were kids. Oh, my goodness. We talked about this before. We could go to the store and for $0.25, you could get a couple of comic books and candy and a drink. You come home with a baggie full of stuff. We'd all buy one or two comic books. We'd swing them around and read every one of them. I used to buy the Spider-Man, Batman, Sergeant Rock. I used to love the military ones. I used to be some of my favorite ones that I would get. Oh, if I only had all those. I was a big Spider-Man fan when I was a kid. I used to have a lot of Spider-Man comic books and quite a few Batman, a few Superman. There's no telling. I don't even remember all of them. Sergeant Rock, I do remember a lot of those. That was cool. I used to love that. I don't know why. I've always been pro-military. Just love those stories. So, yeah. No, Jake, I will not. I refuse. Actually, we'll start wrapping up, Mr. Producer. I figure when I hear the kids hollering, I can hear their voices. It's time to go. They don't have school tomorrow, but they do have school today. So they'll be like, I don't want to go to school. I don't want to go to school. I'll say, but you're off tomorrow. Yeah, but that's tomorrow. Baby girl will be going to see her mama this afternoon. No kids tonight. No kids for the weekend. Yeah. Bunch of kids yesterday come on. My sister take them to skate rink. My sister looks at me and said, are you okay with this? I said, none of those kids belong to me. I take them to school. They don't belong to me. That's up to their parents. It was the greatest freeing feeling ever. My sister's looking, because she knows I'm, some of them do call me Papa or Papa, but they got parents. It's like, not my business. Mine wasn't going. She's got the busted wing. She can't go skating for a while. I'm out. She goes, well, I don't like just doing it. I don't know if they ever win. I can't remember if they win or not. I said, you talk to their parents. I am out. Hey, have a great day. Jake says I got to wrap up here. It is 6 after. I like to go. I got to be a little bit of a rebel. Rob, he likes to sometimes just hit it right on it. I'm going to be a rebel today and go a little bit over. Oh, have a great day out there. Cornbread Nation tonight. We'll see what's going on out there socially along through the day. We'll see what news drops today. I don't know. We'll see what kind of a day it is in America. Will the liberals get their way? I don't think El Salvador is going to release their boy. I don't think it's going to happen. I think y'all are just out. I think you're just in trouble. But they'll never want to admit it. They'll never want to admit it. They'll keep on pumping the story. MTG, you keep on having your town halls. I'll go to one of them. We'll support you. Hey, we ain't all Ackworth, okay? And if you're in Ackworth, don't take that personal. We know there's conservatives there. There's also some jacklegs there. Have a great day. I'm Dave in the AM. This is your Southern Fried Patriot morning show. We're out.